Welcome to this lesson on recording your videos. And this is for recording yoga videos and really any kind of videos that you want to create for YouTube. So that's this lesson. We have set up your space, you've written out some scripts, and now you're ready to actually record our content. So stay tuned. Even if you think that you know how to record, I have some tips for you that you won't want to miss. So in this lesson, we're going to cover some recording basics, 3 different ways to record your videos, and I'll give you some examples or demonstrations of them. How to do audio only and voiceover. I'll briefly touch on music while recording, although that is a separate lesson. We'll talk about B-roll and also filming multiple angles. After that, I'll give you some homework and you can kind of guess what the homework is going to be. You're going to record your first few videos. Okay, so some basics with recording. It does not have to be perfect. And it does not have to be a 4K or professional video quality. So if you ask somebody, I'm looking for a camera, what's the best one for filming yoga videos? The best is likely going to be someone saying, get this fancy camera, you can shoot in 4K. And you'll be like, great, awesome. You'll end up spending $1,000, $2,000 on something yet that you really don't need. So you do not need to have professional quality. The content of what you're providing, the verbal content, what you're sharing matters a lot more than the professional quality of the video itself. So the videos themselves must be specific to YouTube. And YouTube is not a high-end production TV channel or anything like that. So this is kind of more like home video style. So specific to YouTube. Also, that means horizontal, not vertical videos. Unless you're using YouTube with YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is like TikToks or Instagram. But if you're doing YouTube Shorts, I would really just recommend repurposing TikToks or Instagrams. That's a different strategy. I'm actually talking about here YouTube as YouTube, the main portion of YouTube, which is longer form content. And the sweet spot is between 7 and 20 minutes. Now with yoga videos, it'll be a little bit different, but with talking videos, between 7 and 20, you want to really get to the topics, the main content, get to what people want right away and not draw on for a long time. So although you might think you'll get longer, more watch hours with longer videos, that's not the case. And you saw that in the lesson on scripting short videos. It's better to have more videos that are shorter than one long 60 or 90-minute lesson. There's many more benefits to doing that. So you want to train people to watch longer videos. So eventually you could have 60 or 90 minutes or even more. Some people might even stay tuned for 3 or 4 hours. However, right now, as we're starting, let's keep it short. The reason that we do 7 to 20 minutes also is that when you're able to monetize your channel, 7 or 8 minutes, I believe, is the duration of time that needs to be minimum to put ads in the middle of your videos. But we're not going to worry too much about that right now. Just create videos. That's that sweet spot, 7 to 20. And so again, the quality of your content matters over the quantity, the length of your content. And the quality of your content is more important than the quality of your production. You're going to also get used to the sound of your voice. Don't worry. I know some of you say that, like, I just don't like listening to me. I don't like the sound of my voice. You're going to get used to it. It's something that will grow on you over time. It's going to be uncomfortable at first, but I promise you get used to it. The value of your content is more important than your production. So use what you have. In fact, I have my setup right here that I'm going to demonstrate on. I'm using yoga blocks and my cell phone. Easy. And here's a couple other basics when recording. Are you looking at the camera lens? Not at yourself, but the camera. It's easy to make the mistake of looking at yourself when you're filming, or maybe you're looking at your script, but do your best to practice looking at the lens. And this is really relevant when we're filming on our iPhones or whatever phone you have. So notice right now I'm looking into the camera lens of my webcam. I could easily look down and look at myself and talk to you like this, but this looks really awkward, doesn't it? So I'd rather practice looking at that lens right there, like I'm making eye contact with someone and not focused on myself. And same with on your phone. So instead of looking at yourself right here, you're going to be looking up here where the camera is. And if you have trouble with that, flip your camera around and film from this side. So you're looking right in the middle of all these right there, right in the middle of these right here, so that you film on the backside so you don't get distracted. And that's the same with any online content, any videos. Even if you're doing stories on Instagram and you're going lengthwise, you want to look at the lens itself, not at yourself, because it looks a little bit weird. There's a better connection, I should say that. It doesn't look weird. It's just you better connect with your viewers when you look in the lens. Okay, and we are going back to this. And are you speaking to one person? When you are filming yoga videos, yes, more people than just one are watching them, but it's one at a time. Make this more like you're teaching a private yoga lesson, because the person on the other side of the camera is only one person. There's not a group of people watching. So instead of addressing everyone and saying, "Hey, everyone," oh, or "Hi, guys," or "Hey, you all," or whatever it is, you're talking to one person. So you say things like, "How are you doing today? I hope you're having a great day, and I can't wait to work with you on this lesson," or something like that. So you're speaking to one person, not everybody. And the next question is, should you repurpose your Zoom yoga videos for YouTube? Not necessarily, not recommended. Your Zoom videos are not made specifically for YouTube. So this course is teaching you how to make content specific to YouTube and how to make those videos really appropriate for the platform. If you really want to repurpose your yoga videos and you want a video library for your members or for your friends and family to view, then I would recommend maybe making a separate channel to do that if you want them public for any replays or podcasts or other repurposed content. So that would be something you can do separately on a separate channel, apart from this main channel that will help you grow as a yoga business. Now let's go over the 3 ways to record. 3 ways to record. This is going to be fun because I'm going to show you examples and demonstrations. You don't want the filming process to take forever. I know this is one of our hangups. This feels like it could take a long time. So I'm going to give you some options to make it easy. There are 3 ways to record: one take, rolling, and sections. And let's go through those one by one. And just for reference, when you see these graphics, the top one is a video clip, the bottom is an audio clip. So that means like you've taken a video and the video kind of looks like this when you pull it into an editing platform or editing software. Same with the audio clip, you'll see these little bouncy green lines, which is an audio clip. So just as reference, and as you get to editing your videos, it'll help you as you get started. So what is a one-take video? A one-take video is one single video clip. There are no edits whatsoever. You literally just hit record and stop, and that's the video. This is the hardest to record if you're getting started, but the easiest to edit because there is no editing. It's ideal if you're used to presenting on live video, you feel very comfortable, if you have a memorized script, or if you're really good at winging it and fumbling through things and not minding your mistakes. The one thing you really want to do, though, is to avoid restarting 100 times. So if you find yourself restarting over and over and over again because it wasn't perfect and it's a 20-minute video and you make mistakes and you realize you have to start over and over and over again, I wouldn't recommend the one-take video. The one take should be literally one take. You hit record, you go, done. There's no restarting. We just go through and film one long video clip, and that is it. And this is great for YouTube. If you want to go one take, if you have a solid script, awesome. I recommend doing that. So what it would look like is you have yourself set up. Let's just pretend here. You've got yourself set up. You've got your script, or it's in your head. You've got it memorized. And I'm going to put my camera on here and I hit the record. Today I'm sharing 3 ways to wake up more energized. Hi, my name is Ashley, and I'm excited to be here. I teach a daily morning movement and meditation class on Zoom, and I want to share with you a few more tips on how to wake up more energized. So those 3 tips are to not hit the snooze button, to drink a big glass of water, and to join me in my morning 6 a.m. Zoom class. And you can find that at ashesyoga.com. So I hope these tips were helpful for you. Make sure to subscribe and like this video and leave a comment with what your favorite tip was or what helps you wake up. And I will see you next time in another video. done. So you notice that was just like a one take, one and done. And I might trim the ends off the sides. But it was just go with it. And now I would upload it. So no editing or anything. So that's a one take. That's fine to do. The second one is my favorite one. This is a rolling style of recording. This is a single long video clip, but you don't stop if you make mistakes or during pauses. Take a deep breath after each mistake, and you're going to actually end up editing out those mistakes afterwards. Easiest to record, I think, and the hardest to edit. You don't have to start over at all because you just edit out those mistakes. It's great if you want to have your script right in front of you and keep referencing it. And it also helps create those like faster transitions and little breaks if you want to create that like that jump, the jump style. If you know what I'm talking about, TikToks are a lot of times like that where they have quick cuts. And so anyway, let's do a demonstration of that. I'm going to grab my notes, pretend I have notes here. So a rolling clip looks like this. You have one long clip of video and you end up editing out some sections, whether that's restarting or it's some pauses or you forgot what you were going to say. So what that looks like is, let's get started. I've got my notes in front of me. So I'm going to record. Hit the record button. This is the 3 mistakes. Oh, wait. And you might clap in between or just pause. Take a deep breath. Today, I'm sharing 3 tips for waking up more energized. And I'm going to look at my notes. My name is Ashley, and I teach a morning movement and meditation practice on Zoom every weekday at 6 a.m. Pacific time. You can find that at ashesyoga.com. And then I'm going to say the 3 tips. Okay. The 3 tips to, let's start that over. The 3 tips to waking up more energized are to not hit your snooze button, to drink some water, and to join me for morning Zoom yoga. And I hope you like these tips. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more morning. Oh, wait. I hope you like these tips. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want more wake up happier tips and advice. That's it. Sure. See, I'm a mess, but this is my favorite way to do it because once you edit it, it's not gonna look so sloppy. It may feel and look sloppy right away, but you'll edit out the mistakes and make sure that you're pausing. You are pausing in between. Take a deep breath in between each mistake that you make, or you might do some claps and just hold. And what the claps do, if you do decide to clap when you make a mistake, is it spikes the audio so you can see when that happened. For me, I just take a longer pause and then I notice that there's no sound for a while and I go, okay, I've got to edit that. And I will go through the whole thing and trim, cut that out. Trim, cut that out. So everything gets merged together and it actually turns out really nice. That's how most of my videos are created. And it's really enjoyable to do it that way. There we go. So that's the rolling version. And there's one more, let's get to it. And it's sections where you record multiple video clips. You may do larger sections of your script per clip, where you take little clips and then you end up merging them together. You may or may not have to edit within the sections. So you might do a rolling version in one of the sections, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Afterwards, you're going to merge the sections together where you add them all together in editing software and then export it as one video. It's great for repurposing yoga classes if that's your plan. So that means you would add an intro, you have the middle, and you add the outro. So you'd want 3 different sections. And that looks like this. So you have multiple sections, and it could be 3, it could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 2 sections. It's just different sections where you hit start and stop between each section. And what that looks like is this. So I'll have my camera ready and I'll do the first section, which is my introduction or hook. 3 tips to helping you wake up with more energy. End the clip. Do another one. My name is Ashley, and I teach a morning movement and meditation class on Zoom every weekday at 6 a.m. Pacific time. I hope you can make it. You can actually register for that class at ashesyoga.com. And I end, and I make sure I smile in between or right at the end and take a little bit of a pause right before and right after. So I have a little bit of space on both sides. 3 tips to helping you wake up more energized is number 1, don't hit your snooze button. Number 2, drink a big glass of water. And number 3 is to join me for Zoom yoga at 6 a.m. And I hit the end. And I move on to the next section. I'm going to look at my notes. Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want my free guide for morning movement and meditation, free PDF, go to ashesyoga.com/morning guide. Done. Okay, and that is the sectional sequence. That's not sectional sequencing, sectional recording. And then I would go into an editing software and put them all together. I might trim some of the ends off each video, and it looks kind of like this when it's in an editing software. So that works too. And if you're more comfortable with that, that's also a recommended way to record your videos. Again, this works really great if you need to record an intro for something you've done in the past, or an outro. So the intro, that includes a call to action, it includes your website, an introduction. The outro, that includes the subscribe call to action and other engagement and conversion call to action. So if you want to add those in there, you can do that. This is also where you could add your own ad breaks, your own little commercials. If you wanted to create little sections like that. If your videos aren't monetized, you could add a little ad break for your membership or something. If you want to get creative, you do that. Don't forget your thumbnail. When you're recording you might want to spend some time in your setup doing some thumbnails. So if it's a direct to camera video, like what I was doing here, I might hit the record button. So I'd hit record and do like a few poses, and hold for a couple seconds. Just hold a couple seconds with some thumbnails so that you don't have to go through your video and look for a thumbnail or a still frame to screenshot. So make those with your video. You might film an extra little video clip for that. So don't forget about your thumbnails. And if you do, you can always grab a screenshot from your lesson or from your video. You'll see that on my bottom left here. You'll see me doing a yoga practice. So I just grabbed that a still frame screenshot. And then the other 2 are actually posed, where I took a video and I posed for a few seconds and then I grabbed that as an image. Let's talk about recording audio only. So audio only is great for meditation practices, or if you don't want to show your face. You can't upload just an audio file to YouTube. It has to be a video file. So MP3 is not a file type that you can upload to YouTube. It would have to be an MP4, which is a video. But you can add a photo in place of the video, or maybe it's B-roll or like ocean waves or something, some sort of video if you wanted to. Maybe it's your fireplace and you just recorded that for an hour or a few minutes and you have it on a loop. So what that looks like is you recorded an audio, and you can record a video to get the audio from it, and then place an image over the top of that video. So that video might just be a black screen. Your phone was face down on a table and you were recording. And in editing, you place an image over the top of that video, and you're going to see the image and hear your voice. You could also do some sort of sectional type of thing, like for a meditation, you do an introduction. Maybe you show your face for the introduction, and then it's just an image or some B-roll footage while you do a meditation, or you have some sort of audio. And then at the end, you do a little outro where you come back on screen and tell people where to go to work with you further. So that's another way to do this if you're doing audio only. What about a voiceover? That's very similar to audio only or separate audio. A voiceover is like the voice in the sky. So you actually record your voice before or after the video. They're done separately. So you are talking over your personal yoga practice or a yoga practice that you've created, and you are have difficulty, speaking at the same time that you're doing this practice. So you want to talk through it afterwards. You can actually choose to record the video or the audio first. And in fact, there's a couple ways to do it. You could watch your video and talk at the same time, or you can do a practice run and then talk over it and then do it again as a viewer, as a student listening to your own voice, and record that as your video. So, this process takes longer. It takes a lot longer, at least twice as long, if not 3 times as long to create. But this might be your preference. This might be your creative outlet, how you like to record videos. A great example of this is Sarah Beth Yoga. She does voiceovers for, I think, everything. All of her yoga videos are voiceovers, and it's done really well. And there's no right or wrong or best or worst way. It's just what you prefer. I would recommend trying this and see if it's something that you like to do. I've done it a few times just to test it, and it works. It works. I don't prefer it, but you might. It also helps for those of you who don't have a wireless microphone and your audio quality is not so good when you're talking and practicing. So what this looks like is you have your main video, which is you practicing, and it does not have audio to it. You mute the audio, or it's detached, or you get rid of the audio, and you overlay that over the top of the audio or video file that has the audio that you like. So that's one way to do it in the editing software. So what you would do is detach the audio from your second video, if it is a video, and remove the video file. You can simply record just audio over the top. And so there's a few ways to do this. It depends on your software. For example, in iMovie, you can actually voice over right in the software. So you decide where you're going to start, and it does a countdown timer, 3, 2, 1, and you can talk over your video. And what I like about that is it's directly in the software, and also you can start and stop at multiple times. So it's not just one long rolling speaking thing that you have to do. You can start, you can say a few paragraphs, pause, take a moment to recenter. Maybe there is a pause for a longer hold in a pose, and then you start at the point that you want to start again. And so it looks a little bit like this, where the audio might be broken up just a little bit, and there are some more pauses. And it gives you the opportunity to not feel like you have to talk all the way through the entire thing, and get winded. I know how that feels. I've done it. It's a little bit tricky, and it's tiring. And a note for voiceovers, just know if you are recording audio after the video, so you're putting your video on top, or you're putting your voice on top of your video for a yoga practice, you'll want to move the audio file a few seconds earlier so your cues come before the movements. I've seen it and experienced it as a student with a voiceover, that the cues come right during or after even the video is moving, and it's very frustrating. So what I end up having to do when I'm listening as a student to a video like that is I can't watch the video at all, and I have to just listen to the cues and move in that way. Because if I were to follow the video, it doesn't follow the voice. They're too similar. So they need to be offset just a bit. So your voice, your cues have to come before. So a trick to do that is, yes, talk as if you are moving, or as you're moving, and then go ahead and just move the audio file just a little bit to the left, just like 3 seconds or so earlier. So you can shift it just slightly. And this will make it really easy for you if you want to do voiceovers, and if you don't want to do it many times, is just to shift over the audio file. So there's a note for you. You can do that in any editing software. And a brief touch on adding music. We're not going to talk a ton on adding music in this lesson. Adding music to the recording, it's actually easiest to add music in the editing phase, not as you're recording. So if you're recording and you want music at the same time, I still would do that in the editing phase. You want to ensure that the music is royalty free, or that you have paid for the rights to use the music for public performance. They're like music subscription sites like Spotify or Pandora. They give you a license for personal use only, so you actually can't use them for videos. And if you use copyright music in your YouTube videos, you will get flagged for copyright either they'll take your video down, or they'll place ads over it and someone else is monetizing on your videos, or you'll get a kind of like a red check mark on your channel. So we don't want that. So I'm going to recommend that you refer to the music lesson. I will also talk about in that lesson how you can record with audio at the same time. So music and video at the same time, which you can do on Zoom. But it's not something that I recommend for YouTube videos because these are pre-recorded. It's a lot easier just to add this in the editing phase. Okay, moving on from music. I know this is a big question, so I talk about it a couple different times, and I have a whole lesson devoted to it. Now, what is B-roll? B-roll is, according to Wikipedia, it's the supplemental or alternative footage that's intercut in the main shot. This might be images or video. It might be even text or different slides or transition slides. The term A-roll is the main footage, and it's fallen out of use when B-roll is in place. And B-roll is typically just that secondary or supplemental. And it might be images, it might be different videos you take, it might be a second angle. So it looks kind of like this with different video clips. So if you have your main video clip on the bottom, and then you might be talking about something else, and you have a secondary video clip over the top. So that's what you see. And then maybe you talk about something that you need an image to just show on the screen. So that's that JPEG. I just have image on the screen right there. It might be a JPEG, it might be a PNG file, just some sort of image pops up on the screen, but your voice is still talking. The audio from the bottom file is what you're hearing from the main A-roll. Or you could do things where you interject video or transitions or images into your video. If you're doing sectional or if you're editing, you can add an image, a video in between so that the audio from the B-roll also comes up. So it's just, it's up to you and your creativity level, what you want to do. So what you see in the blue, that's all considered B-roll. These are both B-roll type things where you've got your main video and then you insert or input extra footage. This is not required though, not required at all. I'm just giving you a little bit of a preview or a hint at what you could do or what is possible. And you have to let your own creativity take the lead. So similar to B-roll, let's talk about recording multiple angles. And this is getting to the finale of this lesson, and multiple angles is getting a little bit fancy. You do not need multiple angles, but if you want to get fancy and you want to transition from one angle to another just based on the poses that you're doing, you can set up two cameras at different angles. One is your main angle, one would be that secondary angle. Layer the second angle on top of the main. So in editing, your second would be on top. Line up the audio to match. Of course, you want the audio to match. And then you'll cut out sections from the second angle on the top video clip. You only need the audio from one, so make sure that you remove or mute the audio from the other so you don't hear any echo or any awkwardness in the audio. So what that looks like is your main angle would be at the bottom. You place your second angle at the top, and then you're just going to cut out the sections that you want to be interjected into this first angle. So it might be you in a certain pose, and it's going to be a lot less. The second angle usually is a lot less in the video view than the first angle. So this would be done in editing as well. So it's two different files. Record. You don't have to hit record at the same time. You'll end up just lining up the audios together, at least close enough. And then, and then splitting and cutting where you need to with that second angle. And the last thing I want to say is don't lose your work. So after you're done recording, whether that's your raw files, so that means your original files, or the final video files, you'll want to back them up. And there's two places you could do this. I recommend doing both. So one on an external hard drive, something you plug into your computer and you can back it up there, or to cloud storage, something like Google Drive or Dropbox or iCloud, somewhere that is in the cloud. So that way it's there on the internet if your camera or if your computer, your camera, or your hard drive crashes or something happens. You always want to back up your files. So make sure to do that with your video files. And now onto your homework. I want you to decide how you want to record. Is it a one-take video? Is it rolling and then editing? Is it sections? And then go ahead and start recording your first video. Take your script, get your script out from what we did in the last couple lessons. And if you want, have it in front of you if you're doing sectional or rolling, and record that first video. Collect your B-roll or your second angles or your images for your video if you have them, but that's optional. Maybe you want to grab some text or some title slides, or work in Canva if you enjoy that, if you want to add that. You can work on different intros and outro videos, or maybe you have different ideas for intros or a title slide. So come up with all those ideas, but the main thing I want you to do for homework is to record your first video. In the next few lessons, we're going to talk about editing. So we'll learn how to edit together and pull pieces out, and hopefully it'll go really fast for you. So choose a style, go record your first video, collect any B-roll, and let's get to it. So have fun with this. I think recording is so much fun. 1, 2, 3, 4 videos at a time, or maybe just start with that first one, see how it goes, and then check in with us in our Facebook group or in the comments below. In fact, in this lesson, please let me know which way you would like to record your video. Is it going to be a one take? Is it going to be a rolling video style? Or is it going to be sections? And I'll see you in the next lesson for editing.